Welcome to Not So New News. Come along with us as we continue to discover an Appalachian time gone by. Today's article comes from the town of Whitesburg in Letcher County, Kentucky's newspaper, The Mountain Eagle. Volume 5, Number 4, Industrial Edition, 5th section, dated June 6, 1912. Page 17 is not named and is continued in today's reading. Leading Internal Revenue Man. Sam Collins. No young man in the mountains, under as adverse circumstances, has succeeded better in forging himself in front than Sam Collins. Left motherless when he was a mere boy, he began to hustle about for something worthy to do. He managed to attain a pretty fair education, made friends wherever he went, and with a good stock of energy could but merit success. He was appointed postmaster at this place and held the place for some years. Then he resigned to accept a good position in the Internal Revenue Service and has been faithful in this ever since. He has amassed some money, has some beautiful residence property at this place, besides a first-class feed store. To say nothing of a few enemies that may have made a discharge of his official career. Sam Collins is one of the most popular men in this section. Write-ups of some prominent citizens. Chas E. Pendleton. Professor C. E. Pendleton is another one of our young men who deserves mention. Starting from the ground floor, he has steadily worked himself up till today he is one of our best scholars and leading teachers. He resides at Pauley. S. B. Dishman. Ben Dishman. Everybody knows Attorney Ben Dishman. Mr. Dishman is not a citizen of this county, but has long maintained such a standing among us that he looks like one of us and acts it. He resides at Barbersville, but he has always managed by his shrewdness to hold a goodly portion of the practice at this bar in this county. Thomas B. Watts. Professor T. B. Watts is a resident of the Lower Line Fork section of the county and belongs to one of our best families. He is an excellent scholar and is one of our leading teachers. At the present, he is a member of the County Board of Examiners. Walter J. Boggs. Mr. Boggs is a young man about 21 and is the son of Henry C. Boggs of Eola on the Poor Fork side of the country. Walter is one of the best scholars in the county, having recently took a graduating course in Drawn's Business College at Knoxville. He has taught several years in the public schools and has a bright, prominent, and useful career before him. D. D. Fields. There is not a great deal to be said about Attorney Dan Fields that the general reading public does not already know. He has been the longest at the bar here and perhaps the widest reputation of any of our practitioners. He never attended law school, but by persistent effort and hard study, all on his own part, he attained to his high position as a lawyer. He has long been the efficient resident attorney for the Mineral Development Company, 510 Arcade Building, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which owns immensely boundaries of rich coal lands in Letcher County, and since the advent of the railroad building in this section, he has been the leading resident counsel for it. Outside of this particular practice, he is actively engaged in other legal work. He is the senior member of the law firm of D. D. Fields and Sons. He has prominently mentioned as a candidate for the Commonwealth Attorneys of the new 35th Judicial District. Mr. Fields is much interested in the public improvements of all kinds and gladly gives his money to any cause that will help to elevate or make better the public or the country in general. John J. Wakefield and S. M. Nickel. John J. Wakefield. Something more than a year ago, without any particular ado about it, a young man with good clothes and gentlemanly appearance arrived in Whitesburg and put up at a hotel. The populace elbowed each other, looked nonplussed, and wondered, "Who be that'n?" In a few days it noised abroad that a young lawyer had arrived in town and was going to hang out his shingle here. It looked like a poor field picked clean, and others of the same profession, just merely keeping soul and body together. But there was room for another, and that other was John J. Wakefield. He began to hammer for practice, and soon the forge was hot and the sparks flying. He won everyone's confidence and esteem almost from the beginning. At present, he is the junior member of the firm of Baker and Wakefield at this place. Though Mr. Wakefield spends most of his time now at Jenkins, where he manages a good practice, Mr. Wakefield is a native of Letcher County, Kentucky, and belongs to one of the leading families of the Bluegrass State. S. Monroe Nickel. From the good old county of Morgan, some 10 months ago, came the attorney Monroe Nickel. Mr. Nickel came to us highly recommended. A partnership was at once effected with the former county attorney, Robert Blair. Mr. Nickel proved himself well versed in law, and the new team soon had about the practice that they could command. Monroe Nickel is still quite a young man and belongs to one of the best and leading families of the Licking Valley sections. We bespeak for him such success as a very inviting field. A more quiet, moral, and orderly walking gentleman than Mr. Nickel would be difficult to find. R. Monroe Fields. County Attorney R. Monroe Fields is the son of merchant M. C. Fields of Kings Creek and is one of the best connected men in the county. He married one of the daughters of Elder S. C. Tyree of this place. Mr. Fields was well educated in the country schools and colleges, and after teaching a while, he entered the law school at Louisville and graduated with distinctive honors. 3 years ago, after a heated contest, he was elected county attorney and is making a diligent official. He is one of our leading lawyers, having an excellent practice outside of his official duties. He resides in the east end of Whitesburg and has an interesting family. This concludes today's reading of page 17 of the June 6, 1912 Mountain Eagle. We at Kentucky Tennessee Living would like to thank you for your continued support as we bring to you the history of the Appalachian Mountains.